Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Alrighty, welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to say to each and every one of you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, to you business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, experts, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Black Business, this network. And my name is Dr. Stan Harris, known as Dr. Breakthrough, and I'm the business moderator and speaker for this session with the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, Black owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community. And my friend, it's sharing its business knowledge and to empower, inspire, and educate businesses and business people about business. So my friend, you're at the right place at the right time. I hope you have the right frame of mind and then take the right action as we're going to get into this training that's going to help you in your business. So just a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Stan Harris, aka Dr. Breakthrough. Always give a disclaimer. As Dr. Breakthrough, I can't provide the breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides the breakthrough they desire and deserve. And what's a breakthrough? It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. Are you frustrated in your business? Do you feel like you should be doing more, accomplishing more? Do you feel like, my friend, you'd like to have a breakthrough? You see, a breakthrough is kind of like that caterpillar that's moving slow. That caterpillar eventually goes into the cocoon and then eventually comes out of the cocoon as a beautiful butterfly. So that's what we call total transformation. So I use motivation, inspiration, education, and sometimes a martial arts demonstration to assist a person in breaking through to the next level. See, I've been blessed to travel over 3 million miles speaking using my 10th degree Grandmaster Black Belt level skills to interweave that into a speech, and not just a speech, but an experience. I write things on boards like fear and procrastination and doubt. I write things like that on bricks, and then I break those, demonstrating to the audience, although these things are hard, with enough focus, precision, accuracy, determination, you can break through the hard things. So I've been blessed to speak and preach in all 50 states and 28 countries. I happen to be married to the woman of my dreams, my wife, Nadia. who's here with me. I call her my ABCD. Stands for Adorable Brown Caramel Delight. And we travel all over the world. Last weekend, we were in Florida where I spoke for a company and then preached on Sunday. Here, we're out in California now. And we just love empowering people. So I educate and empower people to break through any barrier that would hinder their success. We've been blessed to go to the top of 7 different companies in a home-based business arena and network marketing specifically. One company, I was the international training director. I personally sponsored over 988 people. It blossomed into 1.5 million people, and people begged me to write a book. So I wrote a book, How to Build a Big Team Fast, chronicling how I did that and how a person can build bigger teams and also earn more commissions. The book that Les Brown wrote to Ford, Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed. And you can see on the bricks, I have fear and doubt and discouragement, and I break through those, my friend. But this book is a powerful book that will bless you. And I've been blessed to be paid as much as $1,000 a minute. But in a nutshell, I'm just a nobody that God made into a somebody. And my friend, I'm trying to tell everybody that he can do that, if not more, for anybody. So I want to address your attention on this topic. Every master was once a mess, and therefore every mess can one day be a master. Let me say it again. Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. You see, my friend, my life was a hot mess. My dad left when I was 3, never came home, never called, never sent mom a dime. I've been through physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse. As a matter of fact, as a 6-year-old boy, I was out in the middle of a field playing, and a gang of teenagers came my way. I was so afraid I froze in my tracks. One of them grabbed me and bam, punched me in the stomach and knocked the air out of me. Have you ever had the air knocked out of you when you're trying to breathe and you can't? Well, I was a 6-year-old boy, and it was a gang of teenagers. You would think just one teenager could beat up a 6-year-old boy. It wouldn't take a whole gang. And one after another, they start punching all over me. And finally, one of them picked me up and slammed me on the ground. And then they started stomping on me like I was an ant or a roach. And my friend, and then kicking all over me. And by the time I'm bleeding from everywhere you can bleed, you would think that was enough. That wasn't enough for these guys. One guy flipped me over my back, so I'm face up. They took a great big old bucket of tar, poured it on my face, poured it on my body, took a bunch of feathers, threw them on me, and literally left a 6-year-old boy, tarred and feathered, out in the middle of a field to die. Thank God somebody found me and rushed me to the hospital. And but again, I'm telling you, my life was a mess. I tried to commit suicide on 2 occasions, my friend, 2 occasions. And I'm so glad I failed. And you might be in a hopeless situation now. I'm here to tell you, my friend, there's hope. If I would have taken my life back then, I would have never enjoyed the different things I get to enjoy today. Having been voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame, having been voted into the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame, being married to my ABCD, that stands for Adorable Brown Caramel Delight, having been the top of 7 different companies, and my friend, traveling the world and empowering people. As a matter of fact, I've dedicated my life to educating, empowering, and elevating people to break through any barrier that would hinder their success. And I do that by empowering them to break to the best, or at least a better version of themselves. And so again, my friend, when I started in the martial arts 55 years ago, I tripped over my own feet. They called me Mr. Baboon. They made fun of me, my friend. But listen, I was focused. You know why? Because I needed something that I could learn to protect myself. As a matter of fact, the reason and the way I got the idea of the martial arts is my mom wanted a free month of karate lessons. And that free month ran out and she started paying her money. You know, free is good, but when you're serious, you're willing to invest. And my mom got better and better and better until one day, her and her boyfriend got in a fight. And my 5'1" mom knocked out a 6'1" guy. So when I saw my mama, 5 foot, knock out a 6'1" guy, I looked at my brother Ronald. Ronald looked at Lonnie. We looked at the guy on the ground. We said, man, whatever you do, don't mess with my mama. My mama's bad, man. But it dawned on me, if martial arts could do that for my mother, it could do that for me. And so here I was, a total mess, unable to protect myself back then. But I got started. Why? Because I saw my mother, she had a breakthrough. And because of her breakthrough, I said, man, this maybe could be the thing that could break me through as well. And so, my friend, I'm here to tell you that, listen, it doesn't matter where you are now. I want to know, where do you want to be? See, your life right now might be a mess, but I got good news for you, my friend. I'm going to show you a few principles and a few things that if you apply, you can one day be a master. I mean, your finances right now might be in a mess, but I'm going to give you some principles that if you apply, you can one day be a financial master. I'm going to give you some principles. Your relationship might be in a mess, but I'm going to give you some principles that if you apply them, and these are transparent and transcendent principles, doesn't matter what you apply it to. You can go from being a mess, or even if you're mediocre, but you could go to being a master. If your business is a mess or mediocre, I'm going to give you these principles. And when you apply these simple but powerful steps, you in your business can be a master. Do I have your attention? Is there anybody there that's interested, my friend? So let me share with you what I'm talking about. Do you know Albert Einstein? They said he wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old. And his teacher said he would never amount to much. He started a mess, but by the time he died, he was a master, one of the smartest men. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. Yeah, the great Michael Jordan. See, you only saw him when in his master state, but I'm telling you, my friend, every master was once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. By the way, when a mess or mediocre person becomes a master, you now have a message that if you market to the masses, you can make millions. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. And now, of course, Disney World is world famous. My wife and I are now out in California. And of course, Disney World here. And last week we were in Florida, Disney World all over the place. Steve Jobs, at 30 years of age, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. But by the time he died, he was a multi-billionaire. Oprah Winfrey, she was demoted from her job as a news anchor because they said she wasn't fit for television. And now, of course, she owns her own network. See, every master was at once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. And I'm going to challenge you, my friend, just like that rocket ship that takes off. There's all kind of combustion and all kind of energy, and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. If you've watched it on television, you see how that thing takes off very, very slowly. The rocket ship were human, it'd say something like this: man, all this work and nothing's happening. I don't understand. But a rocket ship's not human. It doesn't run based off its emotions, so it does what it was designed to do. And the rocket ship starts to gain momentum, and it goes faster and faster. And they tell me right before it breaks through the Earth's atmosphere, it begins to rotate wildly, almost as if it's about to be shaken to pieces. And as I travel the country and internationally, I find people doing everything they know to do in their business, and it seems like it's shaken to pieces. Are you there now? I know people in their relationship doing everything they know to do, and it seems like it's shaken to pieces like that rocket ship. Are you there now? I know people that do everything they know to do, it seems like, but their financial life is shaken to pieces. Could you be there now? I got news for you, my friend. That rocket ship, right before it breaks to escape velocity, it's shaking wildly as if it's about to break to pieces. If it were human, it'd say something like this: I can't take this anymore. Go based off its emotions. It goes based off its programming. So it just continues to do. And the next instant, they tell me you can hear a big boom as it breaks through the Earth's atmosphere. Now that rocket ship is traveling 25,000 miles per hour. And out of the 1 million pounds of fuel, they tell me 95% is from takeoff to escape velocity. But once it breaks through escape velocity, it will virtually use no more fuel for the rest of the trip. You see, my friend, what we understand from this is that a breakthrough is both sudden and gradual. And everybody wants the sudden part, but without the gradual, you'll never have the sudden. And so let me give you real quick. How is it that you go from being a mess in your business, a mess in your finances, a mess in your relationship, a mess in your spiritual life, a mess? How is it you go from being a mess or even mediocre to being a master? Well, you just take these proven steps. Step number one, you need mentors. See, listen, not one single person has ever accomplished anything great in life without mentors. See, mentors are the fastest, easiest, most reliable way of mastering or learning a skill. It was Socrates that mentored Plato. It was Plato that mentored Aristotle. Aristotle mentored Alexander the Great. It was Andrew Carnegie who mentored Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. And then Napoleon Hill mentored W. Clement Stone. W. Clement Stone mentored Jack Canfield, the co-author of the billion-dollar book series, Chicken Soup for the Soul. It was Benjamin Graham who mentored Warren Buffett. And of course, Warren Buffett has mentored millions. It was Dr. Benjamin Mays, the president of Morehouse, who mentored a young man who became known as Dr. Martin Luther King. And of course, Dr. King has mentored millions. Even in his death, my friend, was Bill Bailey that mentored Les Brown. And the great Les Brown has mentored millions. And one time he spoke to over 80,000 people at one time in Atlanta, Georgia Dome. It was Jim Rohn who mentored millions, and he mentored a young guy named Tony Robbins. And of course, Tony Robbins has mentored tens of millions. In the Bible, Moses mentored Joshua. It was Joshua that continued to mentor those 3 million Israelites. It was Elijah that mentored Elisha. And then Elisha mentored this widow woman in 2 Kings chapter 4 that her husband died. He was studying in the ministry, and her 2 children, they were about to take him to debtor's prison. And she came to the man of God. I think she thought she was going to get an offering. And he said, wait a minute, what do you have in your house? And he showed her, literally gave her some instructions, mentored her, and she started her own home-based business, paid off her debts, and her children lived the rest of their lives off the profits. It was Ananias that mentored Saul, who became Paul, and then Paul mentored young Timothy. And of course, Jesus mentored the disciples. And I love what he said. He said, the works that I do shall you do also, and greater works than these, meaning that the mentee cannot just do what the mentor has done. The mentee can double what the mentor has done. So here's what I teach people. Call yourself, say, listen, I am a master in the making. Come on, somebody. As a matter of fact, a great mentee, a true mentee is really a mentor in the making. And so, my friend, whatever your life might be right now, it might be in a mess, and your business brand new, and maybe it might be in a mess, or maybe it's been going for a while, but now you've had a downturn. Whatever the case, my friend, whether you're mess or mediocre, I'm telling you, you can be a master. And it starts with mentorship. You see, you want to learn to walk with those who you want to be like, in spite of how it looks. If you ever see a little baby lion cub next to the father cub, he looks just like a little teeny thing, but guess what? He's going to grow into that big giant king of the jungle. And you can grow, my friend, the same. You see, you need to believe in yourself. And if you can't believe in yourself, believe in the God in you, or a mentor who believes in you until your own belief kicks in. That's the first step to a breakthrough, my friend. And again, behind the glory, there's always a story. And sometimes the story is so gory that the mentors don't want to tell you. But my friend, I think we need to pull back the curtain and let you see that every person you look up to, listen to me, every person you admire, every person you might think, wow, if I could be a little more like them. I'm telling you, there was a time in their life when they weren't like that. There was a time when they were a mess. There was a time when they were frustrated. There was a time when they were in doubt. It was a time when they were second and third and fourth guessing themselves. There was a time, my friend, when they were like that caterpillar. But you see them after they've been transformed and metamorphosized into a beautiful butterfly. But they didn't all live or start off like that. They started off the caterpillar. And so they started off a mess. See, watch this, my friend. You have to understand that there's not just hope, there's help. But my friend, one day, if you stay committed to these principles I give you, you'll even look at your own life and it's like, wow, man, I barely recognize myself. You'll have people say, man, how do you do that? But you start as a mess, you get mentorship. Number two, not just if you want to go from being a mess, mediocre to a master, not only does it take mentorship, but number two, it takes a mental shift. It takes a mental shift. See, that's another thing, the power of a mentor. See, we oftentimes look at our problems and concentrate on our problems. We oftentimes look at our shortcomings and concentrate on our shortcomings. And a mentor can help you to see, get this, a mentor can help you to see down the road. A mentor can help you to change instead of shifting from your problems to shifting to your potential and what you can be and what you will be, my friend. And so it's not just mentorship. It's a mental shift away from what you're going through now, a mental shift away from what you went through in the past that you somehow keep reminding yourself. See, no, don't, I tell people when bad things happen, don't curse it, don't nurse it, don't rehearse it, give it to God and let him reverse it, my friend. But it starts, number one, with mentorship, and then number two, a mental shift. See, write this down, my friend. Without a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can help you. But with a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can stop you. Ooh, that's good. Can I say it again? Without a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can help you. With a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can stop you. See, the good book says, as a man, and that word man is mankind, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. See, if you think you are beaten, you are. And if you think you dare not, you won't. If you'd like to win but think you can, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you will lose, you've already lost. For this powerful truth we find, success begins with a person's will. It's all a state of mind. Life's battles always go to the stronger woman or man, but sooner or later, those who win are those who first think and then know that they can. And my friend, you've got to know you can, but when you have a good mentor, the mentor will assure you that you can. See, if you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, you got to take the step. You got to have a mentor, but you got to have a mental shift. See, there was a man many years ago. His name was Roger Bannister. They said it was impossible for a man to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. They said if a man would run a mile in less than 4 minutes, his lungs would explode. The doctors, the experts said this. But Roger Bannister didn't do that. He didn't believe that. And he had a mentor. And his mentor said, I believe you could be the first man to break the sub 4 minute mile. And because he believed it and he worked on it, then May the 6th of 1954, he broke the sub 4 minute mile, 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. But guess what's, that's great. That's powerful, but not as powerful as just 16 days later, his record was broken. Are you listening to me? Listen, over 1954 years, no one could do it. And then when he finally, get this now, did it, 16 days later, his record was broken. And then 24 days after that, I believe it was, that record was broken. So here's the thing. You got to have, again, my friend, a breakthrough mentor, a breakthrough mentality. Understand this, my friend. Any barrier that God didn't make, it was made to be broken. So get busy, my friend, and break through. See, everything worthwhile that's ever been done was declared impossible by someone else before it was done. Thus, you got to have a breakthrough mentality. Again, every master was once a mess or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. And the mess or mediocre becomes a master through mentorship, through a mental shift. It was Jack Ma who said, I failed 3 times in college. He said, I applied 30 times to get a job, but I was always rejected. He said KFC came to China for the first time. He said there was 24 that applied, and he said he was the only one to be dismissed. He said about the fact that he wanted to go into the police, and he was the only one not to be accepted. He applied 10 times to return to Harvard University, USA, and he was rejected. He is the founder and executive chairman of Alibaba Group, number 33 on Forbes World Billionaires with over 22 billion. And that was just as of 2016. So I'm sure it's worth and up a whole lot more than that. You know what he said? Never give up because you failed. Failure plus persistence equals success. Matter of fact, when you take the word impossible, and usually when I do my demonstration, I write impossible on the board, and I'll put a space between the M and the P. And when you put a space between the M and the P, impossible now says, I'm possible. See, sometimes the only thing holding us back is what's in our head. It's the limiting beliefs, I call them. And if you write out the word beliefs, B-E-L-I-E-F-S, right in the middle of the word beliefs is a 3-letter word called a lie. And those lies are the things that hold us back. Those lies are the thing that keep us thinking we're nobody, we'll never amount to be anything. Those lies are the things that keep us from thinking I can't build a big business. Those lies are the things that keep you thinking, well, I'm just a woman in a man's world. Those lies are the things that keep you thinking I'm just a black man in a white man's world. No, listen, you're a man or woman in God's world. See, fleecy locks and black complexion cannot forfeit nature's claim. Skin may differ, but affection dwells in black and white the same. Rise so tall as to reach the pole, to glance at the ocean at a span. I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of a man. And one day it dawned on me, it's not the color of my skin, the texture of my hair, or where I grew up, but rather what I put in my head. Matter of fact, write this down. What you put, Dr. Breakthrough says, what you put in your head that affects your heart determines what comes to your hand. And if you want more coming to your hand, you're going to put more in your head that affects your heart. And that's why I've written powerful books like Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed, my friend, or like How to Build a Big Team Fast. And by the way, on my website, www.dr, that's drbreakthrough.com, you can order the book there, and I'll give you an autographed copy, my friend, and we'll send you an extra bonus gift as well. But impossible, it's just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing, by Muhammad Ali. See, success is not just based, get this now, on what a person accomplishes, but rather what they had to break through in order to achieve it. See, in some cases, you're comparing yourself to someone else who had a whole lot more advantages than you. And you're comparing somebody, get this now, you're comparing yourself to somebody in their winning season when you haven't gotten there yet. By the way, before the breakthrough, there seems to be all kind of struggle and little, if any, success. After the major breakthrough, there seems to be much success with little struggle. So if you're going to go from being a mess or a mediocre person to a master, it's going to take mentorship. It's going to take a mental shift. Number 3, get ready for this one. It's going to take misery. Did I say that? I said that. It's going to take pain, my friend. See, a diamond, when you think about it, a diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress exceptionally well. Let me say it again. A diamond, they say a woman's best friend. It's just a piece of charcoal. Now try giving a woman a piece of charcoal, right? But a diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress exceptionally well and endured the test of time. And I'm telling you, my friend, again, as a charcoal, it makes a mess. But when it becomes a diamond, it's a master. But it can't become a diamond unless it handles stress. It can't become a diamond unless it gets cut. And my friend, here's what I want you to write down. Don't allow the pain of the process to keep you from your promise and your prosperity. Ooh, let me say it again. Don't allow the pain of the process to keep you from your prosperity. See, that caterpillar, again, has to go in the cocoon, the dark place. The caterpillar, before it can turn into a beautiful butterfly, it has to go in the cocoon, that lonely place. That slow-moving caterpillar, before it can become a free-floating butterfly, has to go in the cocoon, that place of entrapment, and he struggles, and she struggles, trying to get out. And you might be in that struggling process now, but I want you to be encouraged, because right now you may seem like a mess. Right now you may seem mediocre. Right now your business may seem mediocre. Right now your relationship might seem mediocre, but I'm telling you, my friend, you got to put the time in. So don't allow the pain of the process, and it is a process, by the way, to keep you from your promise. By the way, don't allow the pace of the process to keep you from your promise. Man, I don't know about you. This is a microwave generation. I like everything yesterday, right? But sometimes the pace is not as fast as I'd like it to go. But true champions endure and keep on keeping on. As a matter of fact, we speak to ourselves and we say stuff like this: I will until. Come on, someone. You ought to say that to yourself. Come on, say it out loud with me. Say, I will until. I don't know what that thing is you want to do, how you want to build that business, how successful, how big you want to, but learn to say, I will until. See, grapes must be crushed to make juice. Everybody wants the juice, but nobody wants to be crushed. Diamonds form under pressure with time. Olives are pressed to release the oil that blesses many. Seeds grow in darkness under the dirt, not in the light. And so whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, pressed or in darkness, you're in a powerful place that can lead to transformation. Submit, don't resist. And by the way, you're going to have haters. See, a lot of times that's what slows people down. See, when you decide you're going to do something, when you decide you're going to be more, when you decide you're going to have more, when you decide you're not going to be status quo, here's what happens. Sometimes you're going to have haters. Write this down. Haters, Haters. Let me give you my acronym. Having animosity toward everyone reaching success. Oh, let me say it again. Haters, having animosity toward everyone reaching success. See, my friend, one of my mentors told me, if you want people to leave you alone, just do three things: have nothing, know nothing, and do nothing. He said, if you want people to get after you, do three things: have more, know more, and do more. Well, I got to thinking, if you have nothing, know nothing, do nothing, they're going to call you lazy and shiftless and no good. So they're going to get after you no matter what you do. You might as well go ahead and do it. So matter of fact, I posted on Facebook not long ago, haters, get ready. I'm going to give you a whole lot more to hate on very, very soon. See, sometimes also, by the way, your spirit irritates people's demons. That's why they don't like you. So listen, stop feeling like there's something wrong with you, my friend. No, just keep on keeping on. And by the way, let me give you one of the secrets of breakthrough success. When things and people and your business and your emotions go left, you just stay right. Come on, somebody. I said when things and people, because things will go left and people will go left on you and business will go left on you and your emotions will go left, but you stay right, my friend, and success will come. And by the way, comfort is the enemy of achievement, because your life and your next breakthrough is on the other side of your comfort zone. See, I used to have a comfort zone where I knew I could not fail. The same four walls and busy work were really more like jail. I longed so much to do the things I'd never done before, but stayed inside my comfort zone and paced the same old floor. I said it didn't matter that I wasn't doing much. I said I didn't care for things like diamonds, cars, or such. I claimed to be so busy with the things inside my zone, but deep inside, I longed for some sweet victory of my own. I couldn't let my life go by just watching others win. I took a step and gave myself to let the strength begin. I took a step, and with new strength I never felt before, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye and closed and locked the door. So if you're in the comfort zone, afraid to venture out, remember that all winners were at one time filled with doubt. A step or two and words of praise can make your dreams come true. So greet your future with a smile. Success is there for you, and your breakthrough is on the other side of your comfort zone. See, if you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, it's going to take mentorship. It's going to take a mental shift, but it's going to take some misery, my friend. See, pain and adversity causes some men and women to break. It causes others to break records. And I decided, instead of being broken, instead of being down, I was going to be a record breaker. Why don't you do the same? Let me give you number 4. If you're going to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, it's going to take mentorship. It's going to take a mental shift. It's going to take some misery, and it's going to take number 4, some methods. It's going to take some methods. You got to learn some methods. See, you usually can't prove that something doesn't work, but rather you can only prove that you didn't know how to work it right. So it may be you haven't worked it long enough, or it no longer works because you are no longer working. As a matter of fact, write this down. Nothing works until you do. And you got to understand that a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. Because nowadays it's going to take some new methods. And so what happens is we get comfortable and we're like, no, I've always done it this way, or this is the method I'm used to. Well, guess what? When you get a mentor and they help you have a different mental shift, you got to go through some misery, my friend, because they're going to teach you some methods that you're not used to. But guess what? I think it was Einstein who said the thinking that got us in the problems we're in is not the same thinking that can get us out. So we got to have somebody else. And sometimes with a mentor and these other methods that they will teach us will seem counterintuitive, like it won't make sense. But my friend, who cares whether it makes sense if it's going to make dollars if you just follow along? So the breakthrough is going into a new dimension. But again, it's been stated, Scott Hoffer, I think, said, learners shall inherit the earth while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. It's been stated that the illiterate of the 21st century, not those who cannot read and write, but rather those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. You see, my friend, you got to come outside your comfort zone. My time's running out. Let me go on. If you're going to go from being a mess to mediocre, or from a mess or mediocre to a master, you're not just going to have mentorship, a mental shift, go through some misery, learn some methods. You got to use your mouth. You're going to have to use your mouth. Muhammad Ali, again, I often joke around talking about my three great mentors in my early days was Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, and my mommy. But Muhammad Ali said this, and most people heard the first part, but that's not the good part. I mean, it's good, but the second part that most people haven't heard is the real good part. Are you ready? Here you go. He said, I said I was the greatest. Now, see, everybody knows that part. That's not that's good, but that's not the real good part. Here's the real good, powerful part. And I don't know why people, they cut the quote off. I said I was the greatest. Here's the best part about it. Are you ready? He said, I said I was the greatest a long time before I ever believed it. Whoa. Did you get that? He said, I said with my mouth, I'm the greatest a long time before I ever believed it. See, he figured out what he wanted to believe, and he figured if he said it long enough and said it loud enough, and the great book says faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word. So if he said it long and loud enough, he'll start believing it. If he starts believing it, his body gives the energy to make it come to pass. By the way, if you're fighting someone and they say they're the greatest, how do you fight? Knowing that you might get beat, right? But listen, the good book, Romans 4:17 says, he calleth those things which be not as though they were. Job 22:28, thou shalt decree a thing, it shall be established unto thee. So you have to learn how to speak these positive affirmations, speak these positive declarations. Again, it was Muhammad Ali had said that it's the repetition of affirmations, he said, that truly lead to belief. Once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. And so, my friend, I like to put it this way. You've got to learn, get this now, you got to learn to believe, and you got to learn to speak. So, matter of fact, here's the way I put it. You got to speak voraciously, and one day you'll actualize automatically. So you got to visualize vividly, verbalize voraciously, and you'll one day actualize automatically. Many times in martial arts, the sensei would have us say, okay, now I want you to visualize. He'd have us close our eyes. And now you're about to have this match, and I want you to visualize the match. I want you to visualize your opponent striking, and I want you to visualize you blocking or parrying it away. I want you to visualize you then striking, hitting your opponent. And then the judge says, point. And over, we would train like that. And guess what, my friend? Many a time in the fights that I had, it would come out the exact way I saw it in my mind. How many of you ever had a dream at night, or even a nightmare, like a nightmare, right? And you wake up. See, the body doesn't know the difference between that which is, or the mind doesn't know the difference between that which is real and that which is vividly imagined. And so when you can learn, my friend, to vividly imagine things, but then speak those things, my friend, then you can bring life to it. Number 6, real quick. If you want to go from being a mess or mediocre to a master, it's not just mentorship. It's not just a mental shift. It's not just misery. It's not just methods. It's not just using your mouth. It's mastery. Now, this is where we separate the women from the girls, the men from the boys, the serious from those just talking. By the way, I like to say your walk talks and your talk talks, but your walk talks louder than your talk talks. And your talk speaks so loud, or your walk speaks so loud, I can't hear a word you say. Let me say it again. Your walk talks and your talk talks, but your walk talks so loud, I can't hear a word you say. So mastery means this. You do the thing over and over and over and over again till you can do it without even thinking. So many times in Japanese, it's called senseis or teacher instructor. And he have us do the same punch and the same kick. We say, Sensei, I already got this. The same kata over and over. Sensei, I already know. He says, no, you don't. No, I can do it with my eyes closed. He said, that's not enough. So you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until it becomes part of your subconscious to without even thinking. My friend, I'm telling you, we think the process and the purpose of learning is to be able to quote stuff and say stuff and say, I know it. No. The purpose is mastery. See, the martial arts, we went to martial arts practice. They didn't just tell us what to do and show us what to do. We had to do it, but we had to do it over and over and over and over again. And then we had to teach somebody else. And my friend, you got to get back to mastering. You got to master the basics, my friend. And sometimes the problem is that you're trying so hard to go from being a mess to a master that you think if you just do what the masters do. No, what the master did is the master, get this now, mastered the basics. Somebody said, don't fear the man, and there's no such thing as 10,000 kicks, but don't fear the man that can do 10,000 kicks. Fear the man who's done one kick 10,000 times. And I'm telling you, my friend, it's got to be mastery, and you got to learn something and do it over and over and over and over again. And so anyone who tells you that you can succeed without work is probably trying to sell you something that won't work. And so, my friend, I close with this. You must be committed, like I said, to the process of feeling bad or being bad for as long as it takes to get good, because the seventh principle is money. If you're going to go from being a mess to a master, it's going to take some money. You're going to have to invest in some coaches. You're going to invest in, like I said, some mentorship. You're going to have to invest in some books. You're going to have to invest in some courses. You're going to have to invest, my friend, and I don't understand why they want to be so cheap on themselves, but they asked Warren Buffett, they said in these hard economic times, they said, what would you say, or what would you advise us to invest in? And he said, simple, invest in yourself. Well, hey, God bless you. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself to be with me during this time. I trust I've said some things that can help you, be a blessing to you. Again, my name is Dr. Stan Harris, a.k.a. Dr. Breakthrough, at www.drbreakthrough.com. And my friend, I've got a few free trainings if you want to go to www.theinternetmentor.com. That's www.internetmentor.com. Now, there's paid trainings there, but you got some free trainings. And I want to just bless you. Go there, get some of those free trainings. I'd love to speak for your church, your group, your organization, your Zoom. And so, my friend, I close with this. I ignite or reignite a passion of people for life, for love, for the Lord, and for business. And I believe in you. God bless you.
I love it. Dr. Breakthrough. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with all of us. We appreciate you. And as we love to say, genius is common.
And my genius is common. Come on.
Yes, it is. And we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. All righty.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. What I wanted to do is promote our scholarship. Why are we here? Well, we are here due to the Black Business Expo's mission. And the mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students, and you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App that's on the screen below, and that is $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. So every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate donate to the scholarship fund. We also want to thank our wonderful sponsors, starting with NC100. Thank you. Moody Capital Partners. Thank you so much. Suede Soul, Lotus Richer Coaching and Training. Thank you so much. Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council. Thank you. Step Management. Thank you. Barbara H. Smith LLC. Thank you. Margie McLean Foundation. Thank you. Genius is Common. Thank you. Earth Essentials. Thank you. We also have Malaine Shania Global. Thank you. The Executive Women's Success Institute. Thank you. The Quality Coaching Company. Thank you. The Superwoman Business Services. Thank you. And the Creative Force Studios. Thank you. Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Thank you. We will be right back after these short commercials with an intro to our next speaker.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving.
One thing's for sure, now more than ever, content creators deserve to get paid. And guess what? We're all content creators. And now there's Fanbase, the new subscription social network. Fanbase delivers the complete native app experience with full content monetization, no algorithms that slow your engagement or growth, and no ads. Follow anyone for free. Plus, subscribe directly to your favorite creators and brands for $3.99 a month. Or make a Fanbase page and monetize your content the same way. Finally, connect with your following by posting the amazing content you already create and now get paid for it. It's time to energize and monetize because everyone's a fan of something and everyone has a fan base.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations worldwide. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Gene Baker. I am your business moderator for this evening. on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina to London to Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, to inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is a phenomenal person. His name is Kevin E. Hooks. Kevin is an accomplished nonprofit CEO with over 28 years of executive management experience. He is deeply committed to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion to democratize opportunity. He brings innovation, passion, and a track record of driving social change and business growth through DEI leadership. As the founder and CEO of CEO Life Unplugged, he has successfully pioneered new revenue streams, influenced public policies, and transformed attitude by establishing impactful DEI training programs and media platforms. He holds certifications as a DEI-B specialist and a future of work expert, possessing a diverse skill set encompassing DEI program management, team leadership, training and strategic planning and implementation, business development and growth, and risk mitigation. His dedication to excellence and impact on the community has been recognized through my status as a presidential leadership, or his status as a presidential leadership scholar, a prestigious acknowledgement of his outstanding achievements and contributions to our community, state, and union. Throughout his career, he has consistently created and implemented effective systems and structures to foster a culture of inclusion and promote DEI across diverse organizations, including notable roles as at Acorns, Las Vegas Clark County Urban League, that's a mouthful, and Weber Shandwick. His proven track record reflects his ability to enhance funding resources, assemble and support award-winning teams, and provide expertise as a culture curator and social justice advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you, with that introduction, Kevin E. Hooks. You are in for a treat.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I just want to be like, all right, turn me off my headphones, like the young people say.
I'm telling you, man, just reading through all that, I'm excited to hear from you. I love that space. I do some work in that space myself, so I am looking forward to the important message you are about to deliver. And as we love to say, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
That is fantastic. Let's see. I guess this is a free-flowing show, so let me just dive right into it. I am Kevin E. Hooks, CEO of CEO Life Unplugged, and we are the tip of the spear for organizations that are committed to actual and real diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging programming. We help to influence public policies and attitudes and laws. And we like to call ourselves social justice advocates. We're anti-racist trainers, bias exterminators, inclusion experts, and community builders. We are geeks about all things equity. We're explorers in this land of innovation, and we understand and highlight the critical importance of integrating diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and accessibility thinking into developing and funding emerging technologies. And our mission is to advocate for incorporating diversity, equity, inclusion principles in creating, developing, and funding cutting-edge technologies. So one of the things that we really are focused on through all of our years of making sure that our opportunities are available to everyone, in particular, people who look like us and people that are underrepresented and people that are marginalized. Our goal is to allow us the opportunity to participate in all of the successes that support all of these burgeoning technologies. So for example, right now, there's these incredible technologies like artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is just simply computers or technology doing things that humans do. That combined with machine learning, and that's, where they're just a computer follows a set of patterns and then learns over time and then replicates the results. The problem is that as those emerge and blockchain grows beyond cryptocurrency and quantum computing goes further and further in its advancements, and things like 3D printing and all of these emerging technologies happen, just like post-slavery, the Industrial Revolution, just like when, came back from World War II and, the GI Bill, just like the creation of the internet. We didn't get to, people that were minorities or were marginalized didn't get to participate. Well, now we have the opportunity because of platforms just like this to be players in this marketplace. That can only happen if we make sure that we are at the playing field from conception to funding and its entire life cycle. So that's what we do. And I'm excited to be here to have this conversation with you. Are we still rolling? All right, well, I guess I'll just riff then. Listen, so here's what it is. With this rapid advancements, one of the things that we know is that artificial intelligence has moved into its deployment era. So from like exact 2022 all the way into the beginning of 2023, we had these large scale models that were being released every month. I don't know if you guys are familiar with things like ChatGPT or any of those programs, Galley 2, Diffusion, Stable Diffusion, Whisper. Well, these are all just artificial intelligence programs that will help us live and do our life better. The problem is that there's usually rooms full of people that think one way, that have the same sort of lived experiences, that come up with these models. And by the time we've heard about them, they've come through so many different iterations. Our organization seeks to get us on the cutting edge of the thinking of those. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we've got to build a better community of learners. And the way that we do that is we've got to inspire curiosity among our young people. So one of our missions is to imbue the next generation with a thirst for learning, to empower them with an achiever's mindset, and then equip them with the tools that they need to win every day. Imagine young people in the hood or the barrios of America getting exposure to beta test things like Apple Vision Pro, or beta test the next iteration in gaming or the next big thing in cell phone technology. And we're a part of those communities, and not only beta testing it, but coming up with the ideas, because as we go through those cycles, we are learning how to play in that space. And the one thing we know, as exemplified by Tiger Woods in golf or the Williams sisters in tennis, if you give people who otherwise have not had access to something, and then you give them the opportunity, the tools they need to succeed, you get those incredible results. And so that's what we're really focused on. Now, here are some of the challenges that we have to face. There are systems that are being created to not only help our lives be better, but there are all of these burgeoning systems that are coming online to test, to make sure that they're equitable. So for example, the garbage in, garbage out adage, it still applies. So but if it's bad information in, they're going to continue. So ChatGPT and all of these generative AI software, they will continue to repeat, reflect, and be reconditioned in the same manners that created the systemic biases that we all experience now. And so we've got different things and benchmarks that are coming online to help us make sure these environments are equitable. VL Stereo Set, for example, that's a benchmark that extends the stereo set benchmark for assessing stereotypical biases in language models. And basically, as we begin to bring these tools on board, the challenges that we face is they're being brought on board by people who don't have the lived experiences. So they don't know what it feels like to experience a microaggression. They don't know what it feels like to be thought as other than or less than. They don't know what it feels like to have the challenges of all of the biases and racisms that are built into the systems. Even if the individual humans aren't the problem, the systems become the problem. And so when we build these systems to test them, if they're built using the same garbage in, it's going to spit out the same garbage out. So things like window gender, which measures gender's bias in different occupations, or BBQ, which measures biases along the axis of socioeconomic statuses and sexual orientation and things like that. When they're measuring those biases, they're still using the same information from the same lived experiences of the same people that, built the systems from the very beginning. For example, if the Fortune 500 has less than 25 minorities representing leadership, then what you find is 475 times out of 500, you're going to get thinking from leadership from people that don't have a shared lived experience, from people from all walks of life. We seek to change those realities by making sure that we integrate diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, accessibility principles. I want to make sure that members of the LGBTQ plus community have just as much right to fail as every white male that started a company in the last 100 years. And so if we do that, if we make sure that we're building these tests with the insights and lived experiences from people from those communities, that's how we win. Another benchmark, Truthful QA. It's a benchmark designed to evaluate the truthfulness in models. Now, the reason that becomes a problem for us is it's basically analyzing a whole bunch of words on the paper. Well, if the words that are being put on the paper are written from the experience, imagine, and this is for the sake of the conversation, imagine a racist beat cop in the middle of somewhere in the South decides to meant to abuse an unarmed Black person, and that's not an atypical happening. Well, if AIs are involved in sifting through the data, they're going to be given controls from people who think like that, unless we're allowed to sit in the room as well. So that's some of the things that we are working on. Another example is AI measuring or listening to phone calls in prisons. Now, I grew up in a situation where I have a lot of family members that are in the system. And while we hate that and we want to make sure we put all the tools in place to make sure we continue to reduce that reality, the truth of the matter is that there's a disproportionate representation of people of color in the system. Well, AIs listen to the phone calls and they translate the language, the verbal speak, into something written that people that are authorities in the system review to make sure that there are no violations. The challenge we face with is if you don't have the lived experience and you don't understand the language, you can't train the models to speak the language. So then they're misinterpreting what's being said. And the people that are victims of that are the people who look disproportionately like me and like you. And so as a result of that, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we continue to work with the companies that are diving head first into this. For example, Intel develops a system for student emotion monitoring. It's a pattern recognition system. But as they develop it, what if we're sitting in the room with them? What if people from all of these backgrounds are in the room with them? Well, then if you're measuring, your data set includes a person of color, a person who has different lived experiences, then that's how we make sure that we're in the room. And there's a lot of tools that we're going to work on to make sure that we continue to drive this forward. The last thing I'll say is there are all of these pressing dangers facing us. There are terms that you should look, terms like techno-solutionism. What is techno-solutionism? Basically, it's saying that technology is going to be the panacea in solving the problems. But again, for example, there are always algorithms that are biased, and they're biased by choice. So Amazon found it necessary to throw away an entire recruiting tool because the historical data was trained on and the system sets that were systematically biased against women. And as a result, it exacerbated, replicated, and magnified the same biases that they were experiencing their entire career. We want to be in the room to help solve those problems.
Yeah, we definitely want to be in the room. And you just said a whole lot there. AI, everybody is talking about AI. But what you just said is something I don't think a lot of people are talking about, but I think it's critically important to your points if we really want to move forward and build on all the success we've had to date, even though there's a lot more work that needs to be done in the DEI space. But let me ask you this then. As we think about DE&I, there's certainly, a lot of work still to be done in that space. But AI, it just seems like this is like cutting edge, is to really help AI learn from that DEI perspective and lens but who's feeding that? So is there an organization like yourself? Like, is there a wider organization? Who's feeding DE&I or not DE&I? Who's feeding the AI with enough information for it to change its algorithms?
Yeah, and that's a great question. So there's a lot of organizations out there that are working on this. There's an AI index report that comes out each year. And one of the things that it does is has a part that studies ethics and one that studies diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as a part of that conversation, what I'm trying to do is get the people in the world of academia to really do deeper dives into inequalities and into ethics, and to make sure that when they're doing those dives, people like me and you are sitting in the room with them with our lived experience. And the challenges is that we've got fewer people enrolling in the STEM programs. And so you see a lot of young students now and a lot of dollars and resources being dedicated into that space. And it's for that reason. But I can tell you, it's a simple solution. If we build comprehensive diversity, equity, inclusion frameworks that cover diversity in hiring, in leadership roles, equity and resource allocation and opportunities, inclusion of underrepresented voices in the decision-making, that will foster a sense of belonging. But in addition to that, we've got to encourage venture capital firms and investors to incorporate these principles in their decisions. So if an angel investor knows, I want to make sure that this is an inclusive opportunity, and this technology has to be inclusive and equitable, and I won't fund it unless it is, that changes the paradigm. And then reward people for those sustainable practices and sharing. So now there's a reward for participating in equitable fashion, collaborating with researchers to discuss the structural reform of all of this. And then finally, exploring blockchain methodology. We hear blockchain, we think crypto. It's so much more than that. It's decentralizing all of that data to where you control your own data. And if we look at explore methodology to do that, that will give us our own individual protections. And if we can protect our information, we can make it more fairly and equitably distributed.
Well, you just said something there, controlling our own data. You know, I do a lot of work in health technology, in healthcare, pharmaceuticals. And one of the things we talk about in digital health is where our information is coming from and how we can control it. But that's a fascinating topic as we move forward in this AI space, is controlling our data. Because if we control our data, then we can monetize our data, right?
That's exactly right. Now imagine if Google and Amazon and all their ad paradigms, they have to come to every individual and negotiate the deals. You control your data that way. But more importantly, imagine how you control your credentials. I want to prove to a job, a potential employer, that I have my degree, that I have the certifications and the background and experience. I don't have to hope LinkedIn and Monster, they're going to aggregate and send the right information at the right time against the right keywords. I control it myself. And so I do the data dump of my own information directly into a place that they come to. Now the employer knows not only that my stuff is current, credible, and it's actual true, but I know that they got what I meant for them to see. And that's everything.
Out of all that, if there was like 1, 2, or 3 specific areas that we need to focus on, that you're focusing on, that as a wider collaborative that we can all focus on, what would those 3 areas be as it relates to really impacting AI in the models that drive it?
So there's 3 areas. Number 1, policy making. We've got to make sure that all the governments, right now, we've had the first time in the last decade where there's been a reduction of resources directed into the AI space in several other countries. We continue to lead the way in investment. However, we need to make sure that the policymakers are driving those continued investments, number 1. Number 2, we need to make sure that all the funding apparatuses they speak inclusion. And if they don't speak inclusion, we need to be about the business of making sure they learn how. And then the final piece is we have got to throw all the resources we can muster at education and educating in the marginalized and underrepresented communities in a very real way. I am tired of trying to level this freaking playing field. I want to give our kids every advantage they have available to succeed. And if it's more than the general public has, finally, Let's just give them every tool we can to make them succeed. And if we do those three things, that's how we're going to make a dent in this. And the main thing is we touched on the internet craze when the internet was driving. I remember I was a part of VCs and I set up a .com, but we didn't get to monetize that. We can't miss out on this next race. And here's the last piece. We've got the largest transfers of wealth in the history of this nation, and we're in the middle of it right now. And if we don't grab a hold and be a part of where that money lands, we're going to be having the same conversation in 3 generations. So my son's kids are going to be having the same conversation, and I refuse to be a part of that.
It's interesting, you know, as a people, as a Black people, for example, we don't have a lot of ownership in manufacturing. Right? We're not making a lot of product, but we do have a lot of power in social media, in influencing and creating content, and content is driving a lot of the the dollars out there, right? So, you know, but education, as you mentioned, is so critical in education, specifically in STEM. But is there STEM will help in kind of the back end of these systems and understanding where we fit in, where we can monetize. But how can we also help just from a content creation standpoint? How do we help those individuals really understand what's being played out there, the game that's being played, and how business is set up, and how to really take advantage of that versus being taken advantage of?
Yeah, and again, listen, that's the whole current strikes that's going on in Hollywood, for example, is a good place for us to start this conversation about content. And it's more than just that, but it's a great barometer for us. The challenge is because we don't know what we don't know, and all of the tools to succeed and grow businesses are in the hands of so few. The problem is that they hoard information and it's hard to find. So, for example, a lot of the information we're talking about right now, the dive to get to the information isn't that deep, but it's hidden behind things and conferences that we're not comfortable going to because we never knew they existed, number one. And then when we walk in the door, we didn't realize you needed 19 PhDs and 3 other certifications to get in the room to just listen to the things that are going to impact us. And so what I would say is our best opportunity more than anything, again, is beyond just STEM education. It's about what Dr. Cornel West talks about you've got to stop this whole idea of degreeification of your education. Once you get our degrees, we sit fat and happy with our job. Bruh, if we want to help change the future, you better be learning every single day. I just took a data science course, webinar yesterday on data science as a nonprofit and how to bring AI to support fundraising. And I took a course last week on how to use crypto and stocks in a fundraising apparatus. And those are the things we've got to do. We've got to encourage our young people to have a thirst for learning.
Oh, I just took part this week in mock interviews and helping young people, 17 to 24-year-olds, really be ready to interview for real paying jobs, right? But one of the things I talked to this young man about was a growth mindset. And that's what I heard you just talk about. You're well into your career and very successful. But what I just heard you say, I'm still growing. Talk to us about your growth mindset.
Absolutely. And I mentioned, and you mentioned in the opening, this presidential leadership scholar. In 2015, President Bush, President Clinton, the LBJ Foundation, and President Bush Sr.'s foundation got together. They wanted to find 60 people who could change the world and then teach them leadership skills using their lived experience as presidents as case studies. And so one of the things I learned as I looked around this room with not a whole lot of people who looked like me and you, and going through this class, and it was the very first one, I learned at that moment the importance of continuing to educate yourself. In addition to that, I was excited. Obviously, you sitting in the room with President Bush and Clinton, listening to their crazy stories was fantastic. And, and then they brought in people from their cabinets and from people, subject matter experts from around the world. And one of the things I learned after doing that was I was just like, I've got to figure out a way to stop societal's ability to turn off that curious nature in young people. When kids are running around asking why, our nature is sit down, shut up. We don't have time for that. We got to keep that spark alive, because those are the people that become the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. And the final thing I'll say is Warren Buffett is someone I read about and learn about from all the time, just tangentially. One of the things he talked about is how you read 6 hours a day. And let me tell you something. If Warren Buffett, one of the world's wealthiest, most successful human beings, is reading 6 hours a day, bro, you're behind if you're not doing it.
Right. Yeah. It's when I talk to people about investing, right? Yeah. And it's not so much what your initial investment amount is. I mean, that certainly can make the difference over time. But really what makes the difference is the consistency in the frequency in which you're investing. Mm-hmm. And so it's the same thing as we're talking about from a growth standpoint in reading, in that case, 6 hours a day. If you just read an hour a day, if you studied in your craft, in your field, an hour a day, and then applied what you just read in that day, your learning curve will grow exponentially. And it seems so simple, but only a very small fraction of society will actually do that. But those are the people that rule the world.
That's exactly right. Our big challenge, though, especially in communities of color and underrepresented, marginalized spaces, is we spend so much time trying to survive. We miss out on training our young people how to thrive. We teach them the tools they need to be able to eat, but we don't teach them the tools that they need to be able to not only eat, but then to be able to buy the restaurant, to be able to then make sure that you educate and pay the cook. Like, those are the things that we've got to start doing. Changing that mindset is difficult, especially when it's set against the backdrop of all of this changing technology and all of these doors locked. Well, I'm kicking doors in as much as possible because I want our young people to be able to have the best of everything.
And to that last point, you're kicking doors in as much as possible. And I want people to really hear and hone in again on not just what the problem is. I think we've established the problem. Talk to us about one of the successes that you've had that really kind of sticks out in your mind in this space.
So I'll give you a great success, and it's going to encapsulate it all. One of the things is Melanie Parker is at Google. She's the Chief Diversity Officer at Google, and it's just powerful. But one of the things that happens is we talk about bringing diverse people at the leadership level. Well, she's in a C-suite at one of the top organizations in the history of this world. From the time she got there, she noticed a lot of inequalities that she could address. And one of the things that she's really decided to own is this idea about image equity and skin tone. So because of she's sitting in that seat, she then partners with a Black guy from Harvard, and they do the Monk skin tone test. Well, now what they're doing is all the image equity online, all the testing tools are now being informed by people who look like us with the resources to make it happen, and then the belief system and ability to the constant success to show the value in doing it. So if you look at the value proposition of it is we've done some Google with her being in that role. Not only if we address the need to have people of color at the highest level, but now we empowered her to not only use her thinking to bring in other people of color to do the same thing. And the output was resources for minority organizations to build things that will help us. If we continue to put people in those positions that really want to affect that change and not just get there and close the door, then we can be successful. And that is the only way.
That's the only way. That's a great word right there. If there's anything else that you wanted to tell our listening audience, what would it be?
More than anything, listen, if you ever want to know how to become an ally, you want to know how to get involved in affecting change for communities of color, if you just want to get basic information on what the challenges that we are facing in this emerging technology space, please go to the equitygeek.com. and take a look at all of the work that we're trying to do. And then just every day you wake up, if you try to work on yourself, make yourself better educated about anything, and I don't care what it is, educate yourself every single day, then that's going to help us all be better people.
Kevin, the Equity Geek, I love it, man. You have a great platform, a great message. I wish you well. We are all better for listening to you this evening. And as we love to say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, brother.
All right. What a message. What a message. What a message. So thank you again for coming out and speaking to us this evening. What we also want to do is remind you, please donate to the scholarship fund. This is why we are here. We want to bless our youth with computers and $5,000. We want to bless 10 youth with $5,000 and computers. So you can do that by going to www.blackexpousa.com. Please donate to the scholarship fund. And we also want to thank our sponsors. You are so critical to the success of this program, for the support of our Black businesses worldwide and for the support of the scholarship fund. So NC 100, we thank you. Moody Capital Partners, thank you. Suede Soul, thank you. Lotus Richey Coaching and Training. Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, thank you. Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, thank you. Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, thank you. Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malone Shania Global, thank you. Executive Woman Success Institute and the Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, thank you. Lee Entertainment, Artistic Apps Design, and the Black Business Expo USA. Thank you. Coming right back after these messages, I will introduce our next phenomenal speaker. Look forward to it. Stay tuned.
The Black Business Expo is changing my life. This year, they are giving away laptops and even $5,000 in cash to students just like me. I'm Alexis, and I want to go to college to fulfill my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Help the Black Business Expo going to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com and also becoming a vendor, a sponsor, or donating.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dreams by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. the Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement, I love to leave the inherited lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income, and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car.
Wow.
I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Willis.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America. And my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Gene Baker. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina to London, Singapore, Africa, and Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, to inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Dr. LaTanya L. Small. Dr. L. Small is the founder and CEO of LT Empowerment Incorporated, which is a consulting company with the mission of empowering women to live life with possibilities, power, and purpose. As a CEO, Dr. Small has over 30 years experience working with the federal government, private, and nonprofit organizations. She holds various awards and associations and is an active lifetime member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and Blacks in Government. She's a motivational speaker, a change agent, and a champion for wellness, and an advocate for being your unapologetic, empowered, authentic self. Without further ado, I present to you Dr. LaTanya Small.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Gene. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And hello out there. And Gene, I'm going to have this great fireside chat, and I'm going to see you on the other side.
Absolutely. See you there.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Dr. LaTanya Small, and I've been coming to you these last couple of months talking about making business moves. Yes, as entrepreneurs and as leaders, we are making business moves. But tonight, I want to talk about how our community, yes, our community impacts our businesses. So you are in for a treat, because I have a community leader, an entrepreneur, a business person who's going to talk to us and educate us and gives us that awareness about community issues and how that impacts our business. I want to bring to the stage, bring to this virtual platform, Mr. Keith Turner. Can you bring him to the scene? All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, Keith Turner. Before we get in, because they know all about me, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. How you doing, Tanya?
How?
And I'm sorry, Dr. LaTanya Small. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Telling you about me. Well, quickly, starting from the beginning. My mother said I was a special child when we were in DC, living in DC, and I was a baby in the walker, in the little stroller, had the little 4 or 5 wheels on it. They said that I was in the kitchen by the basement steps, and before everybody knew it, I had gone too far and I was going down the steps. And they knew that by the time I finished got to the bottom of the steps, he wouldn't be here, But yet when they ran to the top of the steps and looked down, God had it so all the wheels were on the ground and I was still up. And she said, that's something special about him. And from that day forth, she always was saying that there's something special about you, especially with the things that were going on in my life. Coming up, I had a great life, had a huge family. Unfortunately, my family members, besides my mom, were murdered. And that's what we're going to probably talk about, and my life could have gone so many different ways because, the anger that was in me, as I got older, and the ability to be able to do something about it without waiting for the law. I had to make a decision. And I think at one of the funerals one night, at the wake, one night, I wanted to kiss my grandmother, and I told her, I'll be back. And she knew that I was going to do something. And she told me, no, don't do anything. I want you. And I never told her. She was a God-fearing woman. And she made us go to church. She made us go to church with her every weekend. We were in church. And I think that night when I didn't do anything because she said, I want to see you. I asked God to let me see you graduate from college. That night, I think that changed my life because, 10 seconds of the wrong decision can change your whole life. And so then from that point on, I just started coming up and I just started seeing things, and everybody was always talking about how terrible his life has been, all the things that I was going through, getting hit by a drunk driver, and paralyzed. And the doctor said, I was about to go into trial for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were like, well, Miss Turner, your son's paralyzed. His football career is over. He'll probably never walk again. All these things, and I can name more. We're not going to go into all these other things that happened. A lot of people who knew me were saying, man, he's just had such a terrible life. And when you look back on my life, you can sit up there and say, it wasn't a terrible life. It was training that God put me in. He had me in training and building me up mentally, physically, spiritually, to be so strong that I can relate to people when they come and talk to me. I pray for wisdom when I was, I think, 14. I used to love what I read in the Bible, so I pray for wisdom. That's one prayer that I know that God has blessed me with, so coming up from that point on, I got into giving back to the community, helping the community. I was always leading the community when I was a kid. If you can name an area, a residential area, that the adults followed a 14-year-old kid. I was on a mission and they followed me. And there's just been so many things that happened, designing things, candy dish made out of ashtrays that was in the newspaper. There's just been so many things that God has just, led me to do that showed me that I have something big for you. And then we went from there. I would go from there to my football camp and my cheerleader camp that God gave me a vision to design. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. It was huge for 14 years until God moved me to something else. But for those 14 years, every year, I presented 15 scholarships to kids. I didn't know these kids, but presented 15 scholarships to kids. We've had about, I think, 7 or 9 kids that have been through my football camp that are in the pros. The last one being Joe Hayden. He was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's been a great life, and now everything that I touch, everybody says turns to gold. Okay, but I'm definitely blessed. I have a serious favor from God, and I am now the #1 rated trainer in the entire DMV and one of the top rated trainers across the nation with over 9,553 clients. Personal trainers don't have that many people. And we have a 99% success rate. I mean, everybody. And the oldest that I have is 84 years old, who is the bomb. She looks good. And we have a few 80s all the way down to the youngest I have is a 19-year-old. So, and we're working all the way across the United States, even people up on Zoom. So I've been blessed tremendously.
Yes. I can attest. I do know Mr. Turner from if you are in the DMV, for those of you who are not from here, the DMV, the District, Maryland, and Virginia area, yes, he has results. Some people claim to have results. He gets results. 100%, he gets results. And I'm glad you talked about, your life so we can see where you come from, because you have been an entrepreneur basically all your life. You've had a dream, you've had a gift. And I always think about the slogans, you don't want to die with dreams, you want to die with memories.
Right.
You want to die with memories. And when we think about it as business owners and leaders, sometimes we get so focused on our product and our services that we forget how the community impacts that. we forget how the community, what goes on in our neighborhood, impacts that. And I know, and one thing that I want you to talk about, I know that you are so heavily involved. You have changed businesses. 7-Eleven, you have, yes, y'all, everyone knows a 7-Eleven. You have shut down 7-Eleven, you know, a business. And so sometimes we think that we don't have a voice. Our voice isn't heard. But when we gather together in community to outright wrong, and that's why I want us to talk about, you know, we are getting ready to be in the holiday season. And we know in the holiday season, let's just be honest, crime goes up, death comes, you know, you hear a lot of deaths, a lot of things happen. And we have to be so, you know, so community based. We can't be targeted on just our business, my product. We need to know that what goes on in our neighborhood, it impacts us. So what do you think about that in terms of, I'm going to use safety, for example. How do you think safety plays a part of a business? Because some people think like that's not me. That doesn't matter what goes on in my streets.
Well, it impacts your business, because if it's not safe in your neighborhood, it's going to affect your business. People aren't going to come, you know, and you have to understand that even if it's sending their kids. So, you know, I'm going to be very cautious where I would send my kids, although they're grown adults now. But I was, you know, cautious where I sent my kids. So, yes, you know, the crime that's out here right now, and this is why we have this no black on black crime movement that hopefully we'll get to talk about before I get off. You know, God designed that for me to go ahead and move effective as of Monday. We kicked it off Monday, you know, after planning for so many months. But with everybody getting killed in DC, downtown DC, U Street, and getting shot, it's going to affect those businesses. People aren't going to want to stay out at night if every time you turn around they're getting robbed, or there's some killing going on down there, or any other neighborhood. It doesn't have to be downtown DC. It can be Clinton, Maryland, Upper Marlboro, Virginia. It doesn't matter where it is. People don't want to be around where there's crime. So it's going to affect your business. Most importantly, if you keep losing so many people the way we're losing people right now, I'll say our people. Let's keep this real.
Okay.
Black on black crime.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk black.
We are eliminating ourselves. We are losing future leaders. You know, and this is going to affect us a great deal. You know, you could have somebody, and it doesn't have to be that person. You can have somebody like me who affected, somebody lost their brother and sister and father and their grandfather, and that person was awesome, dreams and had that power to go, that drive to go, and then losing those people can just shut you down where you don't want to do anything else anymore in life. Now you just lost, not by death, but by mental death. You just lost another serious person who contributes to our race of people, who can contribute to them by means. You understand? This is the problem that we're having right now. So it's so many things that can destroy you if crime is going on like it's going on right now. I mean, think about it. I'm a grown man, kickboxing middleweight champion, boxing Golden Gloves. I won a few months ago. I won the shooting contest, so I can fight pretty well. You've seen that in the self-defense. I can fight pretty well. I can shoot excellent. And yet at the same token, I don't hang out at night. I like to be in the house 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you know, has nothing to do with my age, you know, in my 60s, but I want to be in the house. You understand? I don't want to be out there dealing with the nonsense. You understand? And if we can quickly go back to 7-Eleven, I want to elaborate on 7-Eleven for a second. That was an example when God told me to turn the car around and go back and say what I tell you to say. And I said, oh no, Lord, don't put me in the middle of this. You know, this is when I really started hearing his voice, you know, and I said, don't put me in the middle of this. And then when I turned around and went back in there, you know, it was one person, a young man, a black man with, not young, black man with his head turned backwards, his t-shirt on, with my business name on my t-shirt, in the corner of my t-shirt, and shorts on. And telling them, shut this place down. Why are you open? The guy just was killed behind your cash register. He just got shot at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. By 6 p.m., you rolled his body over, cleaned up the blood, and said, next in line for a Slurpee. You did that to one of our young brothers, and we're going to stand for that? You understand? So therefore, I'm like, no. And I said, you need to shut it down. The first excuse they gave me was, well, we figured we wouldn't give the devil the victory. It's not giving the devil the victory. That's trying to make money. Keep this real. You understand? And so if it was someone of your race, maybe they would have done that too. But our race. And if you can't keep saying this is ridiculous, somebody has to do something. You're the somebody.
Right.
You can't keep putting it off on the police. The police, let's keep this real. They're bad cops, they're good cops. But the police, the good cops can't be every place on every corner 24/7. It's not going to happen. You have to stand up and do your part. So the 7-Eleven closing down, they went from who are you? Get out, get out, get out to 20 minutes later. And 7-Eleven doesn't shut down for anything or anybody. If it's 3 feet of snow out there, if you can get to 7-Eleven, you're going to get your bread and milk or whatever. They're open. All right. And so they went from who are you? Get out, get out, get out to doing what God told me to do. 20 minutes later, they were like, okay, we'll shut down for a whole week if you want a whole week. And I was like, we don't want a whole week. That's not what it's about. I don't want a whole week. And I was in there by myself until, clients came around there to make sure I didn't get in any kind of trouble. But by the time they had gotten around there, they were going to shut it down. And they shut it down for 24 hours. And that was the day of his funeral. You understand? So, the crime affects a lot. The killing and everything else. I don't mean to get too far away from your question, Tanya.
No, that's good, because so many times, because we're talking about how our community, what goes on in our community impacts our businesses. Mm-hmm. And you gave 2 examples in terms of 7-Eleven. We all know 7-Eleven. It doesn't shut down for anything.
No.
And the fact that one person can make a difference. And what happened was, someone got killed. Again, crime. A Black person got killed. Right. And if we don't stand up for ourselves, this is the Black Business Network. We are promoting Black excellence, Black greatness. If we don't stand up for ourselves, who is? And so I commend you of standing up and say, enough is enough. You will acknowledge. You will just take time out to pay respect for what just happened.
Exactly.
And that's what we have to do. But, when you talk about that, I want to go back to your movement, because even though you have successful businesses, you are an entrepreneur, you felt not robbery to stop and say, no, I need not only for my people, but all people, especially Black people, all Black people, to kind of say, we need to stop this, because your gym is open early in the morning and late at night. And if we don't feel safe, we're not coming up there. We're not coming up there. And so people have to get in the owners, and definitely your owners and entrepreneurs. You have to think more just tunnel. You have to look global. You got to think what's going on in your neighborhood and how that impacts your services, your goods. So go back and talk about your Black, no Black on Black crime movement. What is that?
The No Black on Black crime movement. That came to me in January. Again, a dream. And I was like, okay, it didn't mean anything. But each month it got more powerful. It came to me more often. And then when I'm listening to the radio, Joel Osteen or my pastor Jenkins, I kept getting confirmation, because I was wondering, wait a minute, whoa. I don't know anything about this. What do you want me to do? I don't have a platform to work on. And I don't know these areas. You understand? And I just kept getting confirmation, just move and do what I tell you to do what the Lord tells you to do. And, and as phony as people may think it is, I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. I get tired of people saying, God, he is so lucky. Everything he touches turns to gold and everything. I'm not lucky. I just know that when I hear something of the Lord and it tells me to move, I move. I write down what it is. I plan, I write it out, my steps. You understand? I actually go backwards. I write what the goal is, and then I write the steps. I actually go backwards writing my steps, because if one step can connect to another as I'm coming down the steps, I know that when I'm going up that step, it's a solid climb. Mm-hmm. You understand? So I make sure that makes sense. If I'm stepping back off, it makes sense if I'm at this level. And I step off at this level, it's going to make sense if I'm at this level. And so when I get ready to hit the activation button, I'm going up the steps. Every step is solid. And most importantly, I make sure that when I'm going up that ladder, I don't go up by myself. You have to look back, and you have to bring others with you. You're only as strong. This Black race is only as strong as its weakest link. You have to pull other people up, because I'm going to tell you this. You can look down on, because I've had people look down on me as I've been trying, as God has taken me up the ladder. I've had people look down on me, and I'm like, wow. But if you're up there by yourself, it's a long fall down. But if you keep climbing and you pull somebody up at this level and you go to the next level and you pull somebody up at this level and you go to the next level, at least the people who you pulled up right up under you, if you happen to slip, stumble, or fall, you don't have a long ways to go. You're not going all the way back down to the bottom. It's just right there. And if you've been there for them, they're there for you. Yeah. They'll brush you off, keep on going, and get you back up, and you don't have a long ways to go back up to the top. So you have to make sure you're not so high and grand that you can't look out for others. And I'm not just talking about people in your family. See, those scholarships weren't people in my family. Those scholarships were kids I did not know. You understand? So you have to look out for other people, okay? Along with so many other things we haven't even talked about that God has blessed me to do. So the no black on black crime is, I got tired of it when God was showing it to me and asked me to do it. And each month since January, I'm watching the TV. I deliberately got up and turned the news on. Every morning, every night, I'm hearing us, shooting us. Kids, they don't care. We're not doing the school break-ins and killing people in the school. We're not doing that. We're not doing the airplane carjacking, hijacking. You understand? We're doing the carjacking. We're doing the killing each other and the things like that. It's like every race has their own thing that they do. It's their own style of crime. You understand? So with the no black on black crime movement, what I've done is I've gotten a team of advisors together, and God is making, you talk about some intelligent people, and a team of active, my membership team that's I call the activation team. They make me move. They get things done. When I ask them to get things done, they go at it. Yeah. And it's about 30 people on each board that's getting it done. And with that being said, we have designed, got the website up. And God has turned me over to so many people. I've been in so many calls this week to come on radio, come on TV, so many shows to talk about it. But I've also, I won't go into that part yet. And with that, what we want to do is we want to move, get the word from the East Coast to the West Coast that as a race, we are going to come together one time, at least one time. We're keeping this real. I love this show because I can keep it real. Come together one time, December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. No black on black crime. No black on black crime. December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But I need that message to go not just from the East Coast. I need everybody to sit down, take your little 30 minutes out once a week, hit everybody that's on your phone. Send it out to them, our flyers and our website and everything else that we have. Pull up that, and whatever you need us to send you, we can send you, but get this message around, because this has to spread from the East Coast to the West Coast if we're going to really be able to do this, because contrary to the 7 people who aren't black who I interviewed, it's sad for them to say, I said, tell me what you think about us, tell me what you've heard about us, and tell me what you've seen of us. Yeah. And it was bad for them to sit up there and tell me the things that they said. And that was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're raising some great points, and I'm glad you said that, because even though you are based in the Maryland area, this movement, and correct me, this movement is throughout. This is not this is so if you're looking at us from Chicago, if you're in Chicago, if you're in Houston, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Oakland, if you're in Compton, wherever you are in Mississippi, crime happens all the time. Yep. It's not just a East Coast DC thing. It happens all the time, and it's impacting not only our businesses, it's impacting our children, our legacy, because they don't have a chance. No. And so, as the Black Business Network is trying to give out computers and, to donate for education, all of that is to build up Black wealth, Black Wall Street. Let's go back to that, Black Wall Street. We had Tulsa, we had the white people destroy it, but right now, who's destroying us? We are. We are destroying our legacy. So when you think about that, let me ask you this question, because you raised some great points. What do you think, and maybe if you've heard this through some of your interviews, what do you think are some of the causes that have all these crimes? Why these crimes are coming up? The violence. Is it resources? You know, what's going on?
It's more than one thing. In my research so far, economic injustice. It's also, you can't put everything, but it does start there. Because when I went to my daughter's graduation from New Hampshire, right, I went up there, I didn't see any liquor stores on the corners up there. Not that I don't even drink, but I just said, you know what, let me look around. I don't know what made me ride around just looking to see. I didn't even see any Chinese restaurants. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, you know, we are with them being in a position, with our people being in a position where, you know, we're discriminated against. Economically, it's a huge difference. But you know, you are a product of your environment to some degree. At some point, you got to break out of it. Yeah. My family was murdered. You understand? I did not think to stay where I was, you know, and yeah, I hung out in Berry Farms, you know, but my mindset was not of Berry Farms. I can come out of Berry Farms. I don't have to have Berry Farms in me. I wasn't born and raised in Berry Farms, but I was hanging over because part of my family members were over there. So I was always over there on some weekends and everything like that. But that it's just so many things that contribute to the problems that we have in the situation that these kids are in. But in talking to them, you know, if we came up with, and which the government does have, because when I went to a town hall meeting, they have programs out there, but I was listening to the programs that they had in Tanya. I did not even know the programs were out there. So I'm like, well, I don't know. How are they going to know?
Exactly.
They're doing a poor job in getting the information out there to them. I think that if they get them out there to them, it'll be better. But also, when I was interviewing the 7 guys, out of the 7 guys I was interviewing, 2 are active criminals. One will come on my show, will come and talk to me on my website, as long as his face is covered. But you know, this is what you want to hear. But one of them said this, you know, why don't you all come up with something that I can go learn how to become a carpenter. I can go learn how to become work with HVACs or something like that. But you pay me, because I'm not going to leave what I can make in the street. To come there for free, I'm losing money. I have to make some money. I don't have to make as much money, but because I know that down the road, it's going to be a better chance for me, and it'll be a chance where when I buy my stuff, I've earned it. Police can't come, FBI can't come in my house, bust down my doors and take it. And then I don't put my family in jeopardy of getting shot or killed also. So I said, that's a great idea. If we can come up with some programs that we're paying them to come to the program, we can come up with money for everything else. The government can come up with money for everything else. Go overseas and get caught. They'll come up with $400 million to get somebody free to pay another country. What happened to the $400 million over here?
Right.
You know, before I come and clean your house, I got to make sure my house is clean.
Exactly. And you raise that because we do need more reentry programs. We need more training programs. We need things, because it is about the money. It is about the money. And let's be honest, we've all fell on bad times. We've all failed on bad times. It's not when you fall, it's just getting back up. And like you mentioned, having someone, a support to bring you back up, not look down on you, but to bring you back up, and that belief. So I'm glad you said that. Let me ask you this. What would you advise? Give me 3 things. What would you advise business leaders, parents, entrepreneurs, when we talk about the community, when we talk about the violence? What would you say? Give me 3 things. Give me 3 good nuggets that you like. This is what y'all really need to know.
Okay. First, it does have to start in the house. I'm sorry. It has to start in your home. You know, you can't be a parent trying to be a friend. My priorities with my kids was this. Hey, look, and all of them know the saying. I'm like, look, one, you can't make a lot of mistakes with me. I've raised my kids with knowing this. Now, as unrealistic as it may sound, look at my kids now. But my kids are raised this way. Don't make mistakes in here. Mistakes cost you 3 things. It costs you time. You got to go do it all over again. It costs you money. You got to go buy it all over again because you broke it, or it costs you your life.
Repeat that again, because that was good. Someone need to hear that again. Repeat that again.
Mistakes cost you 3 things. It costs you time, money, or your life. My kids know. Now, are my kids going to make mistakes? Did they make mistakes? Yes. But by them being conscious of not making mistakes, like myself, we knew that when I don't live paranoid, but I live that where I'm ready to react if I have to react. We went over drills. If somebody broke into the house, they knew the drills. If the fire was in the house, We knew the drills. My wife knew that, hey, if somebody breaks in this house and we hear somebody downstairs, here's what you do. Here's our passcode. You know, if I go downstairs and check it out and they pull out a gun on me and they bring me back upstairs to get you, you blast away if I don't give you that code. You know our code. You're going to say, is everything okay? If I say yes, everything's okay, then she knows something is wrong because I didn't give her a code. That's not the code. You understand? So we prepare not to fail.
Right.
Prepare not to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I would say the parent, stop trying to be a friend, become a parent. Learn how to become a parent. You may not know everything. You don't. That's what they mean when they say it takes a village to raise a child. I learned so much because my father was murdered. I learned so much, and mine wasn't on drugs. My family, it wasn't on drugs. You understand? So, but I learned so much, believe it or not, from Bill Cosby. Because here's what I did. If we can take the negative things off of TV, because remember, people shoot like this all back in the day. Where did they get this from? Got it from TV. So if you can adopt the negative things from TV, you can adopt the positive things from TV. So Bill Cosby showed me how to talk to my wife. He showed me how to relate to my kids, how to talk to my kids, but at the same token, get my point across to my kids. See, that's why it's no cursing. I don't never curse at my wife and never curse at my kids and all this other stuff. It's none of that. You know, I'm going to talk. I don't do the yelling. We communicate. We have a rule on how to talk. You understand? This is what has to happen in the house. You know, we're not over talking each other. You want to write down what you got to say? Write down what you got to say. I'll finish. If I talk too long, which I do at times in the family, like, Dad, time out. Then we have a timer. You understand? Organize your house. You understand? Like you organize anything else. Okay. And Bill Cosby was great. Muhammad Ali. I studied Muhammad Ali to the T. That's how I actually learned how to fight. The martial arts came because of Bruce Lee, and you couldn't study that. You had to go to. I went to Dennis Brown Shaolin Wushu Academy. I went to study martial arts there. But that's the first thing as far as parents are concerned. Parents are important. The second thing is the child has to take responsibility also. The youth have to take responsibility, but they have to take responsibility only if they've been taught something. You can't be taught how to fix a car. You can't fix a car if you haven't been taught how to fix a car. You understand? So they have to be smart enough to put themselves around people who have made it out their area, who've made it. Because broke A people who hang around broke A people, gon' stay broke. That's all I always say. You understand? So if you want to get to know the Lord, you can't hang around people who's clubbing all the time. You want to learn how to make money? Learn how to make money by hanging around people who know how to who made money. Exactly. This is what you got to do. So they have to change their minds. They're so disrespectful now. You can't tell them anything. So, you know, that's got to change. But how is that going to change? You got to be able to relate to them through forums. Have them come to certain forums by fun things, but turn it into it before they go. They have to listen to this. You know, you can have tournaments for youth, and at the end of it, have a motivational speaker that they have to sit there and listen to because it's in the church or it's in the convention center or wherever it's at. You understand? But they got to sit there and listen to it. All right. The third thing I would sit up there and say is encourage their dreams. You know, I mean, the guy told me I was a kid, and the coach told me, he asked the other coach, how was I as a running back? He said, and I was a kid, it was my first time out there, and he said, he's a bum. And that thing, I mean, he just looked down at me and said I was a bum. I was like, wow, that thing crushed me as a kid. But I tell you what, I'm the wrong person to say you can't do it. I've always been the wrong person. And so what I did was, as soon as I got to Theodore Roosevelt High School, and the first newspaper article that I was in as a running back was my first year there. I was like, yeah, let me take this back down to number 6 Boys and Girls Club. And I went up there and I said, hey, coach, this newspaper article, plus all these honor rolls, and perfect attendance. Man, I have a fit if I missed a day out of school. My mother said he would go to school if he had a cold. I'm like, I'm going to school. I want the perfect attendance award at the end of the year. These are the things you have to give these kids hope by showing them also. You can't just talk it. Yeah. You have to show them. You understand? Show them where you are. Show them where you come from. They're going to relate to people that's been there. They're not going to relate to people that's coming in with wealth and everything else, and it's no solution to it.
I appreciate it. My last question is, I see Mr. Baker is back, so I see you all at the top. But let me ask one question. Finish this thought. My role as a leader is
to be a great example. Great question. To be a great example in every area possible. I'm not just a leader when I'm out in the street. I'm a leader 24/7. I try to tell people, if you're a pastor, you're not a pastor just in a church, you're a pastor out there. If you're a mother, you're not just a mother. Carry yourself at all times. It's not fake. Carry yourself at all times as an example on how to get there. This young man who met me in the bank last month, I said, how you doing, young man? He said, I'm fine. I'm gonna make this real short. He said, I have a father, and he didn't even know me. He just heard me talking to one of the bank tellers. He said, I have a father, and he's a good father. He said, but I think you can help me get to where I want to get to. I don't know you, but my father, he's good, but he's not a mechanic, so how can he teach me how to fix a car? He said, but I think you can help me. And I said, I'm cutting out a lot of the conversation. I said, I sure can. I gave him my card. I'd rather help him than to have him come back and be one of the kids that robbed me when I'm closing up my fitness facility.
And that's so important. Safety is everyone's business. So is your community. And I hope tonight, everyone, that you saw the importance of how your community issues in your community and your awareness and involvement matters, not only in your home, but in your business. And I see you got the flyer. Can you tell us where we can find that on your Black Business Network?
Yeah, you can. The website is noblackcrime.com. Plain and simple, noblackcrime.com. And the number that you can reach me at, I'm sorry, I got to put it in there one time, is 301, and I'll repeat it twice, 367 0483. Again, 301 367 0483. And that's the headquarters.
Thank you. Because all of this impacts our Black businesses, our Genius is Common, and our Black excellence. It is your business. Thank you.
No, thank you both. What a conversation. Real life advice. And I love the point is about hope. Don't just talk hope. Live hope. Show them hope. I love what you're doing out there. You've been successful. You're doing a doggone thing. And you are a beacon of hope. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank both of you for bringing this to the platform. And as we do like to say, genius is common. And we'll see you on the other side. All right. What a conversation. What we want to do right now is to remind you why we are here. We are here to
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that's it.
Hey.
No!
Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants.
Okay.
He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like,
Baby, be you.
Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the Be You collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
So what we have to do is when we get in the spot, we need to create some spots for us. That's the main thing. We need to be able to be in a position where we're able to create those spots for us. For me, being an entrepreneur, I'm not just going to get a business and then leave you sitting high and dry. If you ask me some questions about entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you as much as I've received. I've seen people who made it, and then when you ask them, it's like, okay, now you have to pay me for the information, the same information I got for free. We probably in totally different cities. There's no way that we're going to bump heads or anything. We're not competing. Bring me up with you. And so I just think that whatever education that I have, then I need to be able to give that to my own as well. So create the spots. You can create the spots when you get there.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well. I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is KLOCK. Genius is common.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54 Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, prove that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business lifecycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
You see the career opportunity. You feel it's yours. After all, you're well qualified, but you don't apply. You feel stuck and can't move forward in your career. I've learned as a 10-year career strategist, we must learn how to show up. To show up, we will rise up. We have an amazing resource on this planet, a resource with tremendous potential. That resource is us, women. Far too many of us, when we want to rise up and advance in our careers, we hit an invisible barrier. It's called the glass ceiling. And when we do make it through the glass ceiling, chances are we're more closely scrutinized than men. As women, we face more barriers to promotions in many organizations. However, I've discovered the biggest barrier, believe it or not, is ourselves. As women, we often hold ourselves back. We are not rising up and tapping into our full potential for 3 reasons. The first is a lack of confidence in our abilities. As women, we hold ourselves back when we make career decisions based on what ifs. We listen to that little voice in our heads that says, what if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have what it takes? What if I fail? An article in the Harvard Business Review says, men will apply for a position when they meet only 60% of the requirements. Good for them. But what do? We will only apply if we feel we can meet 100% of the requirements. Instead of moving forward with confidence, we hold back. We let fear and doubt take over, even though we know we're well qualified. And the second reason is a lack of assertiveness. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? When we join a meeting, we often sit in the back or to the side. When we could assert ourselves, we don't. We shrink back. We let others interrupt us or say nothing when other people take our ideas. When we do speak up, we express ourselves with uncertainty, saying things such as, I'm not sure if this is relevant. I don't know if this is helpful. This may not be a good idea, but when you and I use words and phrases like these, we undermine our credibility. And the third reason, we don't build a support network. My friend, Kim, applied for a position. Her female supervisor felt she was more than qualified. But the supervisor would not give Kim a recommendation. The supervisor felt it would look too much like favoritism. To me, this just looked like one woman who would not reach back and help another woman. If we want to rise up, we must learn to support each other. We need to show up to rise up. Showing up means taking responsibility for your own career path. It was 2005, and I had a comfortable job as an analyst working for the US government, but I wanted more. A supervisor's position opened up, and I submitted my application. I tried to find out as much as I could about who was applying, what were my chances. I discovered that 2 men were applying for the same position. I also discovered that neither of these men had the qualifications that I had. But I was optimistic because one of the women on the interview panel told me that she would support me. So I walked into that interview room well prepared. I answered all their questions. I aced that interview. 3 days later, I was told I wasn't selected. Not only did they select the least qualified one, they selected someone who didn't even belong to the organization. I was shocked. I was hurt. I was angry. I thought, how could this be? It was like a slap in my face. I deserved that job. I thought, maybe I should just look for a job somewhere else. But I was in an exercise class, and it hit me. I'm not a quitter. I have never given up. I deserve this job. I'm good at what I do. At that moment, I realized that if I wanted to rise up, I needed to show up. We need to show up to rise up. Showing up means taking responsibility for your own career path. And then it happened. The man they hired quit. And the manager asked me, the more qualified one, to step into that position. I did. I showed up and I rose up in my career. Having worked with hundreds of women over the years, I know there are 3 steps we need to take to show up. The first is to build confidence. The second is to be assertive. The third is to build a support network. When we follow this 3-step process, we will show up to rise up. When we rise up and tap into our full potential, as women, you and I will contribute more to our organizations, more to our families, and more to our communities. When we show up to rise up, everyone wins.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America. And my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Gene Baker. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, and entrepreneurs and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina all the way to London, to Singapore, to Africa, to Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, to inspire, and educate businesses about business. I am so excited to introduce to you our next speaker for this evening, and that is Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis. Dr. Lewis is a career strategist, business consultant, international TEDx speaker, as you just heard, an international best-selling author and creator of the online course, Crack the Career Code, How to Lead with Confidence, Charisma, and Credibility. And she's also a host of the Success for Women radio and TV show. Among her many accolades is a governor's citation from former Maryland Governor William Schaefer for service during Desert Storm. Thank you for your service. And 3 Attorney General's Volunteer Service Awards and a Director's Award for Outstanding Foreign Counterintelligence Investigation from the FBI. Dr. Lewis was nominated for Office Depot 2007 Businesswoman of the Year, amongst other awards. Without further ado, I present to you Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis.
Well, hello there. How are you?
I am doing great. Loved hearing your TEDx.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to let you have at it. But as we love to say on this network, as you're well aware, genius is common, and we will see you on the other side.
Wow. I tell you what, it is always a pleasure because you know what? Here we are once again, another month. And guess what? We're 2 months away from the end of the year. What a great accomplishment. And something I have to tell you that I am proud to be a part of, because I am always honored to have the opportunity to be on such a phenomenal platform as the Black Business Olympics, which is shown on the Black Business Network. You know, just saying that makes me proud. It gives me so much pleasure to see and to hear so many Black sisters and brothers sharing their expertise and providing so many resources. If you've been watching and listening, you've seen this week so far the best of the best business owners, business leaders, thought leaders, heads of corporations worldwide. So before getting started, I would be remiss if I did not take just a moment to thank Dr. Eric Kelly III. for bringing me on to this phenomenal platform, for sharing this incredible vision and what I consider to be a noteworthy occasion that he has shared with so many of us. Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I want to thank you also for always being an encouragement and an inspiration to me and all the leaders you've seen and heard this week. Dr. Kelly has produced what is a one-of-a-kind platform, something that has not been seen before. You know, he is bringing us into what will be called, or what will be seen as, the greatest of all time. This platform is literally changing the lives of people, businesses, and corporations worldwide. And here's something that I heard him say earlier in the week. When the timekeeper sounds, this platform will be a part of history. And you know what? It will. Dr. Kelly, thank you for letting me share in this vision. Thank you. And now I want to say hello to all the viewers out there. Again, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and I am the president and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And what I do is help women navigate through some of the obstacles that they may face when trying to reach the top rung of the career ladder. In other words, I help them to get into those executive positions that sometimes may be hard to reach. I help them to focus on a positive and successful mindset, which can also help them to get there. So what I want to talk to you about is having that successful mindset. You know, on the first day this week, as I listened to Dr. Kelly opening up, he asked several questions. And they were, the first one was, what is your why? The next question he asked was, are you living in your happiness today? And then he said, what impact are you going to make on people worldwide? I want you to think about those questions, because if you didn't hear him earlier this week on Monday when he asked those questions, maybe you weren't paying that much attention, but here they are again. So I want you to think about how you are or will answer them now, or even in the future. Because this is all about believing in yourself. And believing in yourself is the cornerstone of any remarkable transformation. Success is not just about acquiring skills and knowledge. It's about embracing your inherent worthiness and truly believing you deserve the successes you envision. Change starts from within. And I believe that's what Dr. Kelly was telling you. He was saying to you, you can do this. You can do what all these other individuals who you have seen this week have done. Maybe not exactly what they did or how they did it, but you can do what you set out to do if you believe in yourself. So celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or how small. You know, I almost forgot that part of it, celebrating your achievements. And so I'm going to pause right here because I'm going to tell you about something that happened to me this month on October 6th. I received the Prince George's Chamber of Prince George's County Chamber of Commerce Award for their excellence in business, Visionary of the Year. And the reason why I'm telling you about this, it's not to brag about it, but it's to let you know that I almost forgot to celebrate that achievement until someone who's very dear to me called me up and said, "Hey, I want to take you to lunch." And I just thought, hey, we're going out, we're going to have a nice lunch, chit chat. And what this individual did when we were at lunch and when lunch was over, she not only did she give me a gift, but she had this card that she read. And oh my goodness, when she finished reading the card, tears were just rolling down my eyes. Because what she said to me, she said, "I wanted to celebrate you. You deserved to be celebrated for what you have achieved." And I say that because when I talk to my clients, which are mostly women, that's one of the things that they have to remember, that they have to know, that they have to get into, celebrating other women, their achievements, and celebrating your own achievement. I almost forgot that until this dear friend of mine reminded me that you have to celebrate your achievements. Yes, it was a big deal. My community recognized me. And I almost let it go as that, yeah, I was excited about it, but I didn't get really, really appreciative of it until she did what she did. And I'm saying all of that because I want all of you to understand, when you look at all the people that have come this week so far to bring you information, to bring you resources, to pour out to you all their knowledge and expertise. They're doing it because they want to not only have you to be able to celebrate your accomplishments, but they want to show you that they celebrate you too, because they have the faith that you can do what they've done. You can do it, but you have to believe that you can. As I look back on my journey of guiding women up the ladder to success, I know how you feel, as the saying goes. I have been there and I've done that. And that's the way these individuals are that spoke to you this week. The speakers this week, they've been there. They've done that. This is why I too have a passion for helping women in any way that I can, because I was blessed with mentors who saw my gifts and helped me to reach levels in my career, in civilian and in the military. And few people, especially women, have that kind of support. And this is what you're getting on this platform, a lot of support. When I realized that I had women coming to me, that were watching my progression, and they started coming to me for advice, for me to look at their resumes, help them with mock interviews, just to help them, to guide them, mentoring. But I also realized that there were not many women helping each other to move up the ladder. They either would not take the time or have the willingness to share their knowledge with other women behind them on the journey to success. So seeing these things, I knew I had found my purpose. And I think when you look at this platform, when you look at the people that have come this week, that have brought all this information and resources to you, you too can find your purpose. I was inspired by the ladies coming to me to start my own business. a business that would provide guidance, coaching, personal and professional development to those who needed and wanted to advance in their careers or to start a business. This platform has also been something that has given me a plan or vision to start a Show Up to Rise Up Women's Network, where women can get resources that they need to move forward and succeed, where they can attend a retreat every year to fill their cups and rejuvenate and re-energize themselves. Being on this platform did that. It was an inspiration because it opened me up to a new idea. Just think, if you were listening in this week, so far you would have gotten information on grants, information on how to publish and market a book, and market it correctly at that. Ways to find and make money in different avenues. Did you know that you can put everything in a trust that can help you to build a legacy, to help you to keep family members from fighting over everything that you have once you're no longer here, so that they don't have to be at each other's throat? Did you know that? Well, guess what? Someone talked about that. And here's something that I found interesting because it was from one of our younger speakers: how to start a balloon business. Who would have thought? This young lady thought about that, or that vision came to her during the pandemic. And guess what? She didn't sit on that idea. She started a business, and now she's coming and giving you tips and information on how she got started, what it took, how she did it. This was information provided by individuals who have, as I said before, have been there, who have faced the obstacles, who have made it, and now they want to share that success with you so you can also be successful. You know, one of the reasons many people struggle to become successful is because they don't have a clear vision of what they want to accomplish. They may have a vague worldly view of the benefits they think they should gain. You know, the usual, like more money or a bigger house, a fancy car, but they have no idea what it takes or how they will achieve these things. As you know, history offers us many examples of people and organizations that have had quick success and made money in the short term, but could not sustain that success. More often than not, they failed to sustain that success because they did not make a commitment to excellence. They were willing to take shortcuts, and those shortcuts likely proved to be their undoing in a lot of cases. Developing a reputation for excellence is the best insurance for long-term wealth and success. And then, again, you have those who eventually, they just lost interest when they couldn't see much progress. You know, that those that want it right now. Or in some cases, they see there is real work to be done. And so they don't want to do any real work. They just want it to fall in their laps. Now, the problem may not be that they're incapable of reaching the level of success that they desire, but rather that they do not have, as I said, a clear vision of what they want to accomplish. A vision will help you to overcome obstacles in the way, and it helps you to hold on when times are hard. A vision that is well defined helps you to focus and create a purpose that becomes your measurement for success. If you do not have a vision of who you want to be, how you want to succeed, or what you want out of life, you may begin to lack drive, and your life could become just an order of events. A vision will make you ask yourself, where am I now and who do I want to be? Dream and every aspiration starts with a vision. Your vision should include who you want to be, and it's important to know clearly who you are right now, to know who you want to become. This includes your habits, your attitude, and your points of view. If you are unclear about yourself, you will be unclear about your future. You know, too often we let obstacles discourage us from chasing our goals, you know, the goals that will lead us to success. And here's something for you to remember. Obstacles are simply stepping stones towards your greatness. So don't let them shatter your dreams of reaching success. Don't let those obstacles do that. People form their own concepts of success and what it's all about in many ways. In an ideal world, we would all arrive at our definitions of success based on a clear understanding of ourselves as individuals and what it is that we want to get out of the many years that we will spend in the workplace or in the business world. But the truth of the matter is that many of us find it very difficult to disentangle our own personal needs, motives, and values from the messages that we receive from other people about what we ought to want and what kind of success we should be seeking. As it turns out, for these people, the essential but missing ingredient in their planning was self-insight. You know, they made their plans, they pursued their goals, but they never really had a good idea or a solid understanding of how their plans and goals fit their own personal objectives. They just assumed that they were doing the right things, but all the while, they never realized until it was too late that they were working with someone else's concept of success and not their own. Now, you will often find that success means very different things to different people. Yet we often talk about and think about success as though we all have the same concept of what a successful person is. So, what is success? What do you think it is? I think success means making the difference that only you can make. I think it means being appreciated and rewarded for being your true self each day. I also think it means doing work that reflects your unique interests, your talents, your values, and your gifts. With true success, the line between who you are and what you do disappears. Success can be scary because it involves change. Success can be intimidating and hard to handle. Success involves more challenges and responsibilities, and that is threatening, which is why A lot of people fear success. Here's what people fear more than success, though, and that is judgment from others. And the sad part is that this judgment is what stops most of us from doing anything meaningful with our lives. We would rather play it safe than to risk making a mistake and possibly embarrassing ourselves. It's a fact that success isn't always a straight path, but it can be a challenging and thrilling adventure. And one thing I want you to remember, most of us do not start out successful. Success is an experiment that comes with plenty of trial and error. It is built as you learn from mistakes along your path to personal and professional development. You have to take your experiences, both good and bad, and use them to your advantage. And if you do this, you will find levels of success you never thought possible. You don't want to look back on your life 5 or 10 years from now and regret not having pursued your dream of success, do you? And trust me when I tell you, the pain of regret will be much stronger than the temporary discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone. Success is a wonderful thing. We all feel great when we work at something and get the results that we wanted. But here's the thing. Sometimes we succeed at producing our intended result, and sometimes we may fail. And that, believe it or not, is a fact of life for all of us. The problem is the reward for success is usually tangible, while the value of failure can be much harder to appreciate. Life is about learning what works and what doesn't. In the learning process, success and failure have equal value if we learn from them. All the individuals you saw this week, they gave you pointers and tips for succeeding. They offered you options. They gave you resources that you probably did not even know about in some cases. And they showed you a roadmap to help you to get to where you're trying to go. They literally poured out their souls to you. Now, you just have to get to work and implement the things that was shared with you this week. You also have to be mindful to not link your personal worth to the results that you may produce. And that you are a person, not an accomplishment. So never allow someone else's opinion of you shape your view of yourself or deter you from your goals. In other words, don't let what other people's judgment of you, don't let that stop you from succeeding. Don't let that stop you from pursuing your goals. And here's another important thing I want you to remember. If you wait until you know you're going to succeed at something before you actually try it, you can spend the rest of your life just waiting and waiting and waiting. The real recipe to success is not to wait until you have attained mastery before you step out of your comfort zone and pursue a stretch challenge. Because know this, it's in the pursuit that you build that mastery. What you focus on is what you will develop. You cannot get it just by listening and not implementing. You have to do something. You have to work toward the success that you want. You know, we have all seen and probably know many, many individuals who have achieved great personal success, but have never realized true inward fulfillment. And why, you ask? Because they're living the dream that someone else had for them and not their own. They're living up to the expectations and goals that others set for them rather than the ones they set for themselves. This platform is to help you to set your own dreams and your own goals, not someone else's. That's what the information you're receiving here will do for you, if you let it. With all that said, I'm going to give you another secret to success, and that is to never stop learning. Obtaining knowledge is a continuous journey. The best leaders know they're never in a place where they wouldn't benefit from the insights of others who have attained success. Now, I'm going to speak specifically to all my ladies out there, because you know, that's who I am passionate about. That's who I love to see succeed. Not that I don't want all of you to succeed, but my ladies especially. Just in case you didn't know this, women are a very particular bunch. And as such, you have to start thinking like a success before you become one. My point is, you need to have the right attitude and the right frame of mind if you want to achieve success. The right attitude and the right mindset means you have to be confident. You have to be persistent. You have to think big. You have to make continuous improvements. Make yourself better each day. You will get more done with a positive outlook rather than a negative one. And I will say to you, hold on to your passion, your determination, and your unwavering belief in yourself. Because positioning yourself for success starts by seeing yourself as a success. When you see yourself as you want others to see you, then you have a clear target to shoot for. Your attitude, your demeanor, the way you dress, the way you treat others, how you keep your word, meaning always do what you say you're going to do, show up when you say you're going to show up. All these things impact your ability to succeed. It's about both character and reputation. It's about developing the qualities and characteristics of a successful person. One of the characteristics I mentioned was attitude. Your attitude is always important because, as they say, attitude is everything. It's how you react to what you believe to be true. Having a positive attitude means that you tend to remain optimistic and hopeful regardless of how things look. No matter what's going on around you, you still try to have the positive attitude. And here's something to make sure that you can stay in that positive frame of mind. Separate yourself as much as possible from people who are not uplifting or people who are not positive. And remember that you cannot change others. You can only change yourself. So don't even try to change somebody else's attitude when they have a bad attitude. And ladies, I want you to remember that everything begins in the head. You are what you believe yourself to be. If you feel that you aren't good enough for a promotion, for a given career, or even to run a business, then guess what? You've set your own rules, and they're the wrong rules for the game. Having an open mind and a positive mindset means that you are open to the idea that you have value and that you have worth, and that your contribution, big or small, can and will mean something to this world. Know that nothing is ever 100% guaranteed. So if at any time you make the wrong choice, realize you're human and it's a part of life. But always maintain your integrity by owning up to the decision you make, no matter the outcome. A successful leader recognizes the success of others and celebrates their achievements. When we as women get into the habit of being confident, of being assertive, and building a support network, I know we will rise up and tap into our full potential. Because women are one of the greatest resources on this planet. And every businesswoman will tell you that their climb to success came with hurdles and obstacles to overcome. True success does not come easy, and it's not a piece of cake or a walk in the park, but determination will pay off. When it comes to succeeding, never tell yourself you can't be as successful as others. Know and believe that you are capable of accomplishing as much or more as anyone has accomplished. The key is to possess the same drive and determination, because that's what separates the successful from those who stand on the sideline and watch others reach the top. You know, after careful research, I have found that all successful people are alike in just one way, and that is how they think. That is the one and only thing that separates successful people from unsuccessful ones. And here's the good news. How successful people think, that can be learned. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. Success comes from clarity of purpose and repeated action, which is what you heard from a lot of individuals on the Black Business Olympics this week. So ladies, I say to you, don't waste this phenomenal opportunity. Don't waste this information or the resources that you received so far this week. You can always go back and listen to any of the sessions, and I challenge you to do so. Let your dream of success be the fuel that propels you forward. Ladies, I also want to say to you, don't dim your light or let anyone crush your dreams. Believe that you are worth it. Believe that you are capable. Believe that you can do anything you set your mind to do. So when Dr. Kelly asked the question on Monday, what impact are you going to make on people worldwide? I want you to remember this. What you do makes a difference. And what you have to be, and you have to be the one to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So show up, rise up, and become the successful woman you are meant to be. And when you do, everyone will win. I want to thank all the viewers out there who are listening to me tonight. I hope what I said to you made an impact, that you will go back and listen to the sessions. Again, I challenge you to do so. There is, and still to come, great resources, great information that you can get. If you have a goal, if you have a purpose, and you're not sure how to start, not sure where to begin, someone this week will help you to get started. Again, I am Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at info@exwsi.com or go to my website, www.exwsi.com. And while you're there, make sure you download my 3-part video series on 3 things every woman should do to position herself for executive leadership. Thank you again for listening to me. As always, it's a pleasure to be on this platform. And kudos, thank you so much to Dr. Eric Kelly III.
Dr. Lewis, thank you so much for just gracing us on this platform with so much just experts, really great advice and consult. I mean, some of the things I took from you, was from one, just show up and rise up. So just motivational. There's so many nuggets of motivation in there. But there was one thing that really just hit me. It says, you said, don't wait to succeed to move forward.
Yes.
It's in the pursuit that you gain mastery. And so many of us, are afraid of the pursuit, because in the pursuit, there's failure.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look at that as in the right manner. Failure is an opportunity to learn and succeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that part of it. The whole part about your mindset, thinking big and having a positive attitude, and you choose that attitude. That's so important as well. But I just love your message. So positive, so deep, so thoughtful, so powerful. Really helping people move forward in their lives and their careers. So thank you for what you do. And as we like to say on this platform, genius is common, and we will see you on the other side. All right. Well, what a night. I'm so happy to have moderated this evening with such great content and speakers. But why are we here? The biggest reason why we are here, outside of promoting Black businesses and entrepreneurs, is to promote the scholarship. And the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. So it's not successful unless you donate. So please go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund. or you can use the Cash App that's on the screen below, which would be $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops, and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com as well. So please, before you do anything else tonight, go and donate. We really appreciate you. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you again and again, please donate to the Scholarship Fund. We also want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors. We have appreciated you. We can't do what we do without your sponsorship. So thank you so much. Starting with First Financial Insurance Group, thank you so much. 5-Star BDM Media, thank you. Hello LLC, hello, thank you. NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, thank you. Lotus Rocher Coaching and Training, thank you so much. Carolina, Virginia, Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, thank you so much. Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, thank you. Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malone Shania Global, thank you so much. Executive Woman Success Institute, Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, thank you. Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and the Black Business Expo USA. We thank all of you from the bottom of our hearts. You are helping us make a difference. So genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you. Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Rocher, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Rocher Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Rocher Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Rocher, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, are young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side. Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader and expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090